Yo. Sometimes I have to question my ability. Is it really worth pursuing a career with no stability? 1 minute you're here, next minute you're gone. It's like you just disappear when they finish playing your song. I'ma keep on, keep strong, beat on track. What's to stop us if our lyrics and our beats sound fat? It's not as if our lyrics or our beats sound whack. So tell us why you wanna try and keep links back. We're doing this for the love, we're doing it to express. We're doing it for the fun, we're doing it at our best. Using it like a gun to hit you up in your chest. That's how I know that there's none that couldn't give us respect. I feel the weight of time every time I try to step. But staying up in my drum is long, I think that I've slept long enough. Even though I know I'm gonna be, I can't help stating the facts because I wanna be a somebody. Sick of being a nobody, but I wanna be a somebody. I wanna be a somebody. Got to be a somebody, I'm sick of y'all. So I hit the earth with a verse that'll blow your mind. So precise, my heart beats the metronome of time. Close my eyes and visualize flows that rise from the inner depths of my soul, then open wide. See, I'm getting chased by this local crime. There's too many ropes to climb, and I just wanna rhyme till my throat's a mime and holds the line to translate my speech to a ghostly sign. It's only my true self I hope to find, but pollution in this shitty city chokes my mind. Them people, them give me set modes to life and expect me to follow cause I'm oversized, but that won't dishearten my growth tonight or growth today. I grow for life, the most precise. Link side side for life. I fight with mics for life cause my life is mine. Sick of being one day I will be a somebody. Just a regular nobody in the street. I'm sick of being nobody. Sick of being a nobody, but I wanna be a somebody. I wanna be a somebody. Got to be a somebody. I'm sick of being nobody.
All right, let's get it. We are back. Happy Friday, gang. We're going to be changing up the tunes here. I think they're going to be similar to yesterday. We have to download and post one thing real quick. We had to move the whole studio around. We had to move the camera. We're getting it set up where it's relatively easy to move things around, but not foolproof yet. So we had to take a little time to set up the camera, prep it, make sure it works where it is. Let's see. I just want to download this, please. Save image. But we're having a good day, good Friday, getting a lot done. Got our blog post out. Nice little blog post about why we like live art streams. If you have time to check it out, be sure to give it a read. I think it came out pretty nice. Oops. I don't know how to use. I use so much social media. I go back and forth. The annoying part is everything's just slightly different. There we go. Now we're back. We're ready to rock. But see, that's the best part of painting. Is then, no matter how busy the day is, no matter how hectic or crazy, it's like similar to a sport or anything. You can just disappear into your work, into your canvas, into your drawing, whatever it might be. Let me make sure everything's working here. Okay. Cool. So we're going to be doing a fun oil painting today where I haven't put any paints out yet because I'm kind of going to do that actually as we go real quick rather than have them all out because this is our first time oil painting. It's going to be a little bit more of almost a color study today. It won't be completely finished and resolved because again, we're just going to go over some intro, some basics, sort of the paints, the colors I use, what my approach and thought process is. The painting I'm working on is going to be a figure painting. We'll be talking about figure work today. Not totally sure if or what I can or can't show yet, so we're kind of experimenting with that also. Another reason why it's kind of going to stay loose and be a rough sort of sketch, if you will. But we're thinking we jump right into it. I mean, we might as well, right? We're going to be kind of farther away than usual. Ow. The camera, I guess we don't have to be. We can move it a little bit, but you'll see it's as good as we can get it here. Good as we can get it. There's not much more we can do. It's a little off. Straight would be like kind of probably like here, give or take, but I kind of need it straight to me more than anything. No. I mean, again, we could kind of move it. Can't do that. We'll keep it here. Backfired quick, huh? All right, yeah, we're gonna keep it here. And until I get a sponsorship, we're not gonna talk about what I'm using. No, we can a little bit, but I'm somewhat kind of serious too. All right, I'm gonna adjust background lighting there. I think we're all good to roll here. Again, I can actually tilt this camera down probably. I'm gonna lower the reference. There we go, perfect. So those are the paints. Been moving? Camera just moving? All right. So those are kind of what we're going to use for colors. It's a pretty basic palette. I'm just making sure the audio's not too loud here. Yeah, pretty basic palette. It's a pretty cool, you know, warms, cools. Kind of like I don't know if it's called a two-tone palette, but ultimately a warm and cool of each color is kind of what you work for. And then you can kind of add a light and a dark. There's no right or wrong for how you set up your palette or what paints you use. The biggest thing is to try to keep it consistent because your muscle memory will kick in. And it's tough if you go to dip into a red and there's a green there or something. All of these paints are the worst. And I always wear gloves. Hold on one second. I like to wear gloves just because, honestly, from a clean purpose, it's just easier. It's safer as well. Someone knows when I'm streaming and they just fuck with me, but who knows? I don't have much white left. We are not using our full range of colors either, actually. you put out paints, put out your paint. Don't hide them and save them. You know, put out paint that you'll use. Dogs know when I'm live. I can go through each paint. I mean, it's titanium white, coconut, here we go. We're back. I can go through the colors, obviously, as we go. If there's more questions, whatever. Titanium white, cad yellow light, yellow ochre, cad yellow medium. Again, you do not need all of these. That's a cool, that's a warm yellow. That's kind of it. That's kind of how it works. You don't need all or any or none, blah, blah, blah. You need some. But, like you could put, I sometimes put out an orange right here. I'm not today because it's just one of those colors that you don't need. That's not a cad medium. That's a cad red medium. Doesn't. Permanent red medium. That's what I thought. Yeah, I could tell. You can see your colors. I put it out. I was like, nah. Permanent red. I'm not sure where that came from. I genuinely might have grabbed that off the rack by accident here. I could tell that it looks more like a cad red light. There you go. Start to learn your colors. Start to learn your colors. Notice them right away. I know you're gonna say it looks the same. It's not. The other one was far warmer. Oh my god, they don't want to open though. Wild. What I love about Rembrandt paints, the caps are really good usually. Sometimes probably gonna be far more red medium than I need actually, but this is one of the best transparent oxide reds. These dogs right here. Transparent oxide red. I use almost all Rembrandt paints. I use a Williamsburg titanium white. I enjoy Michael Harding paints. Well, quite a bit. Winsor Newton. Only alizarin crimson I use. Make sure if you're using an alizarin crimson, you get the permanent alizarin crimson. So that your paintings never wear and last for thousands of years, because they're going to be masterpieces hanging in museums. So always create and paint that way. Breeding green. These colors are a little different from what I usually use, but they're close enough. Cobalt blue light. I usually use just a cobalt blue, cobalt medium, but it's pretty dark for a light. Ultramarine deep, I always use. That's the same blue. So that's just a great color. And ivory brock. Can't open it. And I mean, that's kind of all you need for painting. Really all you need. their masters, Anders Zorn, used yellow ochre, cad red medium, titanium white, and ivory black, and you have your full spectrum of colors. I'm gonna put these in here just in case I have to go through them again. They're kind of like separate. I don't use this too often, but if I can open it, which I might not be able to, not gonna happen. I was gonna use some liquid, but I don't really have to, so I'm not going. All right, let's get this positioned back where it should be. So again, see, rather than having to wash my hands now, just because it's safer than even having oils all over your hands, I love using these. I just do. It's safer. I started doing it when I got some puppies. Well, my puppy. And I mean, it just made it so much easier to pop the gloves off and then take care of him rather than worrying about all the oils and chemicals on my hands. That corner. Go. There we go. Turn this way just a little more. All right. So it is at a little bit of an angle. So bear with me here. I could definitely make my camera bigger on this side. Thinking if I want to do that. I'm not going to do it today. I guess my hand's going to kind of be here, so it'll work. But I might tweak the camera when I'm doing some oil painting. My trays. I have to grab 2 trays for this thing real quick. Hold on. They're just little side trays that clip in pretty nicely. And I will be keeping. All right, here we go. I have to make sure this doesn't move on me too. Still tweaking. Always tweak. That'll work. This goes on a tripod, this setup. I use it on my desk quite a bit, actually. I love it because the palette right here, the built-in palette is so awesome and wonderful. But it sometimes moves a little bit, so I kind of just clamp it down if I'm working on my desk. Enough, right? All right, let's get into it. 3 o'clock, perfect time to start some sketching. So, beginning of a painting, I've mentioned this a few times when I've come back from breaks, but it's very similar to even on stream. Doesn't matter really where you are, what I'm doing. You have to really slow down and focus on what you want here and what you're going to be able to achieve in sometimes the time, sometimes hours, weeks, months, years, the size, your reference, your model, how long you have them, if it's from life, and again, just your kind of well-being. You have to think about it, because again, you have to be in a mental state, you have to be in the right, you have to be fed, you have to be, you know, hydrated. You want to feel good, because it is the mentally draining process, the mentally and physically draining process. Your brain starts working a lot. You have to do a lot of stuff as you go, especially with painting, because you're adding the music. Sounds a little loud. Maybe not though, because my mic's kind of good, but you add that another layer of color, so you have to worry about not only values but color. And oil paints are tough to manipulate too, so it's like one of those. Oil paintings is fun, but it's tough. But much like we did on Monday, I'm going to start out a little bit. I guess I'm going to tone the canvas just a little, but I'm going to kind of sketch out a little bit here too. So I have my reference sized fairly similar. I'm working small. I'm working very small today. That's also why it's going to be a little color study, so it's not going to be too much. I don't really want to tone it with what is going to be the background color. So I was saying I don't really want to tone it same as my background color is going to be, because it's blue. I don't love putting blue wash down. It's just difficult for my eyes. And blue tends to start picking up in a lot of other colors and tones. That said, what works and is kind of like a blue. Black. Blue is ultimately just black. I mean, it is the same pigments. It's just more. Black is just a very, very dark blue. So anytime I kind of have a blue background, a lot of times instead of toning it black, I will just go straight. I mean, instead of toning it blue, I'll go black, and then I can add some nice blue color later. And again, because it's a color study, I'm not doing too much to the background, but I do want to get rid of that stark white. You don't want that there. Because that's just too hard for your eye to see. Kind of going with a paper towel. You don't have to do this part, but it's just kind of fun. It gives some organic marks. Helps me sort of. This is sort of what I'll do for my gestural drawing. Yeah, I have to make it fit everything here. So I'm also, again, studying size, proportion, sketching it out in my brain, seeing what's going to fit and what's not going to fit as I continue to sort of put everything down here. Everything's going to be significantly smaller than I would like it to be. But ultimately, I'm just kind of trying to get close to start. And from there, you just keep getting closer and where the heck did I put the brush I was using? Oh. Forgot I put that tray down. Just looking for shapes. I'm just finding shapes to start. That's not any easier than it sounds. But you're just looking for easy shapes. So again, you're not trying to finish the piece yet. You're looking for the most generic, easy to spot pieces and shapes, triangles, octagons, circles. No, circles are tough. Circles are a great little shape that you can start to work with. I do a lot of triangles. I like angles. So I will tend to look for triangles or triangle shapes. I'm trying to keep my hand out of the way here. I'm not exactly sure how. Oh. Works. We have audio here? We must, right? Saying my audio bitrate is below 0? I don't know what that even means. But it seems like it's working, so fuck it. We're gonna keep going. We're just getting loose here. Again, this is not at all of this will probably change, so you don't want to take too long here. I'm just kind of letting some of the turpentine kind of slowly evaporate just a little. These shapes are going to be tiny though. Unfortunate piece I might have set myself up here for, but that's all right. Gonna see what we can do here. Close already. What work you do here, again, you don't want to do too much because you're gonna lose a lot of it, but you can start to really see what you want and what you're gonna need. Just makes it a fun time and easier process. But then you got to get into it. You got to start putting paint down. And you're close. Whoa. Microphone there. Just drawing. I'm literally just drawing into the wash that I put down to help me continue to see these shapes here. I want to fit it as best as I can. I might not be able to here. Kind of aim to, but sometimes it just doesn't. I'm trying to fit it real perfect. So we'll see what we can do. Skin color isn't, I mean, skin color, no, like skin tones, I guess I should say. Not a big thing I talk about usually, because there's just so many ways to get there. I mean, sometimes I literally just use a transparent oxide red and white, and it's just like perfect. But ultimately, it's just red, yellow, blue. And then you go how much or how little of each do you want to really put down, if that makes sense. Doing a little bit more drawing than I normally do. Or I guess I'm going to, I should say. Because I kind of want to make sure it's accurate in the small space. I think it's going to be a little longer here. That has to come here. Oh. Get a little lower, but not much. It's okay. Oh. The biggest problem is I sometimes rest my hand on my palette and get paint all over the place. But again, because this is so small, we are going to be much more of working in a color study form here. Which tends to get like not abstracted at all because you're working representationally. But far less Detailed. Would anyone ever tell you that it's easy to work from home? Won't believe them. The distractions pile up. Like crazy dogs. But see, so now here's a fun little fix here. Everything's a little high. All I have to do is kind of work this down with a soft brush, and I can kind of move things around. Pretty easily, which is nice. Oil paint is when it comes to unforgiving nature of oil paint, it's just tough to beat. Not unforgiving, because you can just kind of, you can definitely get messed up, which is a bummer. And you can get, you know, your paint's too muddy, too oily, and have to wait things out. But you can fix everything. It's not necessarily like, even charcoal is one of those things that people think it's very, very, you know, it's a very forgiving medium, and it's like, it's not really. Charcoal's tough. Because the minute you put too much charcoal down in one space, that's kind of, you're done. You're donezo. Done, son. No, not literally, but it is tough sometimes to clean things up. Charcoal, you start over, right? Well, you kind of might have to do that with oil painting too. Sometimes you can get away with scraping stuff out. That's somewhere there. I don't know. That's not right yet, though. That has to be significantly lower, actually, yeah. Then you just adjust accordingly, that's all. I'm just mapping it all out slowly but surely. Everybody has a pace that works. That's all you have to go for. As you learn anatomy more, you can get a little quicker. Depending on the piece, the difficulty of the pose, all that sort of stuff. Difficulty here is size. Very small piece. And she's partially covered in drapery, so you have to measure out a lot of missing shapes that you don't really have access to all the time, and continue your proportions that way, if that makes sense. You just ultimately have a little less information than even a figure in normal clothing. Have this triangle here, pull here, It's just still so early. I use my hands a lot right now. That's another reason I like wearing gloves. It comes in handy. These early stages when you want to just really get stuff, you know, like down quick or wiped away, or just sort of not committed to too much, not committed to anything really. You can really get your hands in there and do a little finger painting. Never be afraid to finger paint. Comes to oil painting. Again, with gloves on. Don't do it barehanded. I'm gonna edit that up, so I just say go finger paint with oils. Yeah, perfect. So I'm going in with a lot of mid-tones right now. And again, I'm just going very slow. What I'm gonna do next, which is almost what a lot of times I will do first, and it's the right way to do it all the time. And I'll start working this way almost momentarily here. But I wanted to do a little bit more drawing, like I had said, than usual. Oh, her foot's gonna drift off here. That's okay. Maybe not. You always want to work dark to light, dark to light, dark to light. All the time, and with oils, it's just so much easier. I'm sure there are people that don't, but I like to. Like I'm just saying right now, I have enough down now. Again, there's a lot of just black shapes here. This is gonna be a black shape. This is gonna be a black shape coming down here. This goes like this. This comes here. Drapery here, and then it comes here. So yeah, it's not an easy piece. Beautiful. Good pick, Mike. Now that's kind of the goal, right? You want to keep challenging yourself. You can't grow if you're not challenged. So again, it's Friday. Tell me it's Friday without telling me it's Friday. Is it Friday? It might be Thursday. No, it's Friday. Yeah, so again, the difficult part of this piece is it's going to look all over the place. And it kind of will be, because there's a lot of constant measuring you do throughout figure drawing, especially again when there's drapery involved. Again, we're gonna go values. We always do. We'll always talk values. And I don't mean like not what you believe in. I mean like how light and how dark something is. So that's clear. But a great way to test sometimes your early values to make sure you're not just using all same color is you can actually take a picture of your palette and put it in your, now that we have, you know, awesome phones, you can put it in your iPhone and just remove the saturation. And if you can see different values, different valuation in blacks and whites, your values are being used properly. It's actually a blue dark too, which is even worse. There will, again, so this is like I was saying earlier, because it's a color study and so small, there's not going to be a detailed face and a detailed this and that. We're going for a study here where, again, our shapes are accurate. Almost the less we can put in, the better. Because we lose a lot of these edges completely. This one we have to make sure we see. This. No, exactly a figure piece, like I'm saying. You know what I mean? There's not a dark skin value there, especially because I'm working from life. Not working from life. Working from photographs, you just don't see as much. So you either make it up a little bit just based on knowledge, especially if you've had the opportunity to study from life with that pose. And you can kind of see beforehand and then add it accordingly. You know, remember what the tones were. Again, that's where you would actually do specifically a color study like this. But again, we're just staying very loose, very painterly today as we sort of block these values in. Always focusing on light, where the light's coming from, what it should be hitting. See, this is gonna come here. Just constantly checking all these angles. And there's still a lot of mistakes that are gonna take place. It's just figure painting's tough. That is exactly why you do these studies that I'm doing. This is a color study for a painting, again, that will finish up at a later date. This is very much, what's the wording? Quick setup. Like, this is a small setup. This is more of a portable setup for me. But I really enjoy this setup. But for pieces, again, for longer full pieces, I will set it up on my easel behind me. And in doing that, it again just gives me the consistency I need. And steps that I need to get to the finished piece. So again, there's usually a charcoal. There's usually a lot of charcoal sketches that sometimes do end up looking like nothing. Other times, they're kind of like the finished piece. And then the charcoal turns into a color study, because at some point you have to go from just your values to color. If you have a charcoal drawing in black and white, while that is great and gives you your value breakdown, doesn't actually show you how it's going to play out or even look in color. I was talking again. I was going back to the steps and stages of oil painting. So sketches, full drawing, color study, sometimes another painting in between, and then usually the final piece. These don't all live on to see the end of days, if that also then makes sense. So the reason you don't have stacks of the same image is you work over it, you throw it out, you do what you have to do. I mean, again, they're all practices, they're studies. It's the same as going to the gym and hitting your workouts. You know what I mean? It all leads up to the final product. And while you save a lot and you appreciate it, you can't just save all the practice days. You don't really want to, right? You want to grow from them. That's the biggest thing about practicing. This is not necessary, so don't get discouraged and sit there and go, oh my gosh, this is so much more. What this is doing is setting you up for a good painting. That's really it. Can't stress that enough. Painting is tough. So the more work you do before, just the better, the easier process it becomes. Blue, where'd you get that PTE, bro? Dude, tripping on a Friday. What up, baby? You're not wrong. I mean, again, you're not gonna get any argument from me. Trust that. Who knows if we'll get a finished piece, but you know. You're a Rick and Morty fan, yeah. So I've watched a lot of it. I enjoy it. I don't watch it like all the time though. I don't know if you know what I mean? Like I haven't seen the episodes a lot. They're definitely funny episodes. I'll give you that. I don't like how mean they are sometimes. They're so hostile and angry. That's like such a me thing to say, obviously. Thought you missed it. Nah, I see everything. Good to see the VD. See, there's definitely good episodes that I'm sure I have missed that I would probably die laughing. Pretty good. Is it a new season? They're on like a new season right now, I think, right? I'll tell you this much. We're playing a dangerous game here with the style that we're taking for this. I'm digging it already, so we're gonna keep rolling. See his old episode. I believe they're coming out with our new season. I think, yeah, right? Something. They're definitely one of those shows that have been doing a really good job as far as pumping out content. And yeah, I definitely think they're in their new season, or they just finished one maybe. I will definitely have to check that out. If you have a link, I guess not a link to it. It's on Hulu. I know this much. That's where I have watched it in the past. Co-creator just got arrested. Oh shit! If it didn't air yet. No shit. For what? For something bad? Gonna be like almost like a jet black there that we're gonna end up using. But I want to get that shape still down here. Still has to be a lot bigger. There we go. Specific shape here. Yeah. I squint all the time when I'm in these early stages of painting. All the time. Seeing values. Basic patterns and else essentially. Oh damn. Oh shit. That's crazy. Oh. Serves him right. What a dick. Fuck him. In all fairness, that is part of what I never really got. I mean, again, Rick and Morty definitely, there's anger. There's a lot of anger behind it. I will say that. Not your normal figure painting technique. We're really getting a little different here with these lost and found marks. I get the brush. So again, I'm just always checking shapes and where and how and why it's gonna fit and look, and if it feels right, feels wrong. And again, at these early stages, it's not like it can be. But again, a lot of those strokes, they're very measured. purposeful. You can get a lot done in these first marks. Edibles, man, I am next level. Edibles will get you, bro. They will get you. Are you Phoenix? Is it decriminalized out there? Or do you have your medical card or something? Or do you just have, you know, the hookup? I remember Phoenix. Then we go Warzone, but yeah, definitely potentially actually tonight. Tonight might be a good night. Might throw up a stream later too, actually, then. A little Warzone stream. Probably not, though. I keep saying that, but. I need, this is a brush. It's a me, the brush you're looking for. You guys remember that old paintbrush video game? I think that was his slogan, right? What a stupid joke. Is that even a joke? Just a dumb sentence. I guess it was kind of a joke. I would have laughed at it if somebody said it, but I don't know if I can laugh at it because I said it. Eagle, I've always wanted to hook up. I got a dispensary, have my med card for years. Okay, 400 a year. Damn. Master Yoda said there is no try. We either do or do not. Terrible Yoda. Damn, 400. That's a lot. I think Massachusetts is like 250 a year. Which I always thought was expensive at that. I don't know if it's starting to look like anything yet, but. Damn, we've been rolling an hour. Holy balls. I gotta take a little break here. I just have to definitely mentally reset here. Figure painting's exhausting. Anybody that says otherwise is just lying to sound cool, and I don't know why they do that, but they do. Oh, bro, easy, 20 minutes. Like, no, whatever, dude. You can tell your Instagram story. You did that in 20 minutes, and you think that makes you awesome, but he's a liar. That's the unfortunate side of social media. Just what it does to, like, how time conception. Is that what it's called? Ultimately, you have no idea how long anything took. Everything looks like it's so quick. People post 45-minute sketches. Like, yeah. And sometimes they are. Don't get me wrong. But still a fishtail, you know what I mean? That fish might have been that big, but it was really that big. Here's 250, but you have $50 doc fee. FC 2 docs to be approved. Oh, swinging from one to another. Ah, I got you. I got you. That's how they get you. I was gonna say it's $250 in mass plus a $50 fee. I think the $50 fee is only at the start, like the one-time payment. I could be wrong though there. I have to go with the dark here. Otherwise, the face is never gonna exist in the world that I want it to. Can't believe we went an hour so far. I will say the fun part of like just streaming and working. Quick. Was fast. So now what I have to do is I have to let everything sort of set in. You have to take breaks. You have to reset your brain, especially when you're oil painting, for more reasons than just the actual brain part of it. But you need this paint to kind of set. You need some of the oils to evaporate, or I should say some of the turpentine, mineral spirits, whatever you're using, to evaporate, so that you can continue putting marks down and having them be accurate marks. I.e. going where you mean and want them to go. We're gonna go like 5 more minutes, then I'm gonna take a quick break. We'll start to see things, here probably in these few minutes, but when we come back, the figure will start to take a lot of shape for sure. Probably every time, to be honest, not to mention tax and state tax. Yeah, I guess that's probably true. You're probably right. We're gonna do a dab moment. 100% down, my friend. Could use one. Dab time. I can dig it. I can dig it. Like I said, like a 3-minute here, so you have to make it. You have to work up to it. Kind of a beat we got here too. I'm not gonna lie, bro. I got the Boost Mobile. No, not Boost Mobile. That's that old cell phone company. The Boost Switch. It's fucking fire for dabs, dude. It is just terrific. So clean. Healthy way of smoking, you know what I'm saying? Real fun investment. Actually, one of my NFTs that I'm holding gave me a big discount on it, which is pretty cool. Chirp, chirp, where you at? I love that. You know that shit. That's fucking awesome. What commercials? Those were so good. Where you at? Wow. Oh, I know. Okay, yeah. I'm seeing it a little differently here. That's fine. That makes sense. Song feels like the intro of "I'll pull up" or "I'll roll up." Whenever you need, shorty, I'll roll up. The 3 a.m. to use just Tips me off. Something like the 3 a.m. George Lopez and Lowrider. What is the George Lopez thing? I don't know it. That's so funny. Oh, the intro? Is there a similar intro? That'd be really fun if that's what you're talking about. That's good stuff. Painting more than streaming, you definitely start to forget sort of the points you're making and saying. Because you just kind of have to. So the mental aspect, it's crazy. It's unfortunate that I can't really express it, but it's fucking hard. And it's just insane. It's hard to do it bad and never mind make it look good. But it's fucking fun. That's why, like we said, the saying, enjoy the journey. That is what we're gonna live by for here on out. That's gonna be it. We're gonna get an emote going. That's our new sort of mantra. If you don't enjoy the painting process, don't bother. You're never gonna like the end result. All right, we gotta take 5 here. We have to. Hurting myself now by not. That said, it's working. It's working. AZ last night. See George Lopez and Low Rise song play. What a jam, dude! That song reminds me of like the old days. Low Rider. Fucking love that song, actually. Not gonna lie to you. Gone in 60 seconds. Zoom. And then we start having good talks and I stay, right? I don't know why I do that to myself. Making sense at all yet? Maybe not. I don't really know. Might look like nothing, might look like something. Promise you it will look like something. All right, we're gonna take 5 right now. Houdini. Yeah, perfect timing. Yeah. It all. It has to be a little closer. It's okay though. Just still seeing things pretty good, so I'm not. I do this a lot, but it's if I'm still seeing it, you can kind of just start to tell. And because I'm kind of still seeing some shapes that I like, I'm just gonna keep making a few marks here. But now we're done. Just put in a couple anchor points for myself, even with those brush marks. All right. So, love it. We're going to take a quick 5-minute break. Check out the pups. Make sure they're living the dream. We're going to be feeding them a little later, so we'll take 5. We'll have to feed them around 5 o'clock in an hour or so. But we're just going to take a 5-minute break, reset the brain, and get back to work. Keep cruising on the little figure painting here. Little figure stud. Dude, grab me. Do it up for me, baby. Grab me a large. Supersize me. We'll be back. Appreciate that love. Everybody, Blue, can't thank you enough. Be sure to hit that like and that sub. Share it. Tell somebody to open up the stream and watch it. Love you guys. Oops. I don't know what my controls are over here. Right, what's up? Whoa. That's bad. That's loud. All he do is win. He's just racking up dubs. How many wins you got over there in Warzone? You got like an 18 KD. Man, it's like a slayer. I know it. None? Fuck off. Oh yeah, we're playing today then. We're getting you some dubs. That is unacceptable. They never played first tag. Oh, okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. All right, we're jumping right back into this. Figure Fridays. We have to edit out. We have to, well, I guess if I was doing a different shaped canvas, it would work. So it's just a canvas, that's whatever. But we're getting right back into it. Like I said, we're going to take a few minutes and study and look and see what we need to change, what we want to improve on, what we need to put down, and what marks we want to make in the next 20 to 30 minutes. You really want to think that through. Get it all up in the noggin. Then go do it. Got the murder gloves on and all, baby. Oh, yeah. Murder gloves with the gold chain. Look, now let's go. Make art cool, man. I've always tried to, I've always thought art is cool, man. Art is cool. It's fun. It's different. It's not this like stuffy painting so many people think it is. Knobby, stuffy. It's like, nah. Art's fucking dope. Art's cool. Art's fucking everything. I have 1,000 brushes and I can never find the right shape. Or I shouldn't say that, and I still don't have enough. That's essentially my issue here. I have blue ones I use in the kitchen, believe it or not. I love it, dude. Like I was saying, I was saying the gloves, I use them. I started using them literally just because they were easier than cleaning my hands all the time with oil paints. It's people all the time like, oh wow, you use gloves for safety? That's so smart. I'm like, no, that's a good call though. Sure, let's say yeah. I started using them because I hated always having to wash my hands for fucking 30 minutes with so much stuff. And I was like, wait, if I put gloves on, I just take the gloves off and my hands are clean? I can do that. And sure enough. I love listening to classical music when I paint also. That's kind of, I don't always, but it's super relaxing. I think this, I might be, don't quote me on this, but I'm fairly certain there's been connections and studies shown that like it can actually help increase productivity and learning and your brain functions, I believe. I'm almost positive it can help like your productivity and increases like with your learning. Like if you're listening to it. This isn't exactly classical, but it's a nice little mixture. I know classical purists out there are gonna be like, this is not classical. I know. It's a nice little middle ground, I will say though. I don't know what the style would be called. What would it be called? What's the genre? Piano? I don't know. Feels like a classical vibe. I gotta go, brother. Please let me know when you jump on and I'll be awaiting. So iPhone's gonna die. No doubt, bro. And have a good stream. Appreciate that love, man. I really appreciate you hanging out, chatting, talking it up, man. Hope you're having a good Friday. Appreciate you, Blue. Enjoy your day, brother. My boy, Blue. My boy. All right, let's have some fun here. Punch it up a notch. Bam! Emerald. We're gonna get the accurate values. We have enough down here. We have enough for what we're looking for. Ultimately, it's always a different level of when you're ready to add more paint, more layers, more this, more that. There's no right or wrong. It's ultimately how much you can see and can't see or do see, and are ready to put some big bold marks down. And I think I'm at the point that one of the best things I can do is start cleaning up start showing where everything's gonna fall here. But I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So that's why you reserve the right. Out. I just felt too might have been that it was like that blue, but we're gonna go a little further here. I guess let's start using these. These are probably going to be the right play here. We have to start just dialing in these edges. I think that's what's bothering me. Because I didn't like that dark blue. I didn't like that big, bold blue because that's part of what I've spoken about before. Where now I'm going to have to almost... Felt like too much was going to have to be completed. For a color study, that just felt like all of a sudden it felt like it was not the right play. I'm almost liking the lost and found feel that we're playing with right now. And I think if we dial that in, I think we'll like it a lot more. So we're going to keep kind of trying to play that dangerous game. We don't actually see as much as we should. Now we're very much playing with the transparency of paints. Because again, very much experimenting at this point here. And really squinting down and trying to see things for their very, very loose generic shapes. Okay. Again, we're talking a color study, so like I've said, it's going to stay relatively loose, especially at this size. It's just tiny. Canvas is probably, geez, 4 inches across. But it works because for a color study, I've had this canvas for, again, it's just chopped off of another old canvas. So it works as a color study. It's perfect, right? Works for what we need it to work as. Because we're really just trying to, again, loosely block in this face. I just want it close enough that I believe it's a face. If I can convince myself, I'm happy. And again, all that's going to be is just a couple nice marks here. Go. That comes way in, huh? And then it's always relative. Again, you have to paint what you see. There are going to be models that make it easy because they're proportioned a little differently. There are going to be models that are trickier. More times than not, females are difficult because they just have to be a lot softer. Edges, the edges and softer and rounder. That makes sense. Men are much more angular. Their jaws, so again, you can get away with it being a little bit off. Not off, that's not the right word, but again, it's much easier to make it look manly because you can just block it off. So you can block in, color block something in, and you'll have kind of look, it'll start to look like a guy. And this goes right into what I've always enjoyed about painting. I love seeing how little, let's put it this way, I love seeing how little of how full of a story I can tell with the fewest marks. I always love the challenge of telling the most full story possible with the fewest marks. And what I mean by that is less is more. Done. Simple, right? Everybody knows what that means. I've just always been fascinated with that practice and study. Hundreds of marks goes down, you know what I mean? You can do that. And sometimes you get glare. Okay, so I won't change too much here, but essentially everybody can tell a story with thousands and thousands and thousands of marks. You keep reworking and redoing and finalizing and blah blah blah. But to just put just enough down, like that, it's like that one word story, you know what I mean? That just carries that one word delivery that is just so significant, more powerful than a story that goes on and on and on. Kind of like my explanation here, right? Face got a little small. Which is gonna happen. You're gonna usually start making things smaller as you like cut it in, and then it's just gonna get smaller. So you sometimes have to pull it back out. Pretty easy to just keep breaking it all in, if that makes sense. Slowly adding some darks here. Very measured and carefully. So I make sure I keep kind of enjoying it as I put it in. But I don't mind the value punch. I don't like that face being as rounded as it is. Kind of too framed, but that's okay. We're gonna kind of keep going. Again, we're not so much worried about the drawing of it, which is sometimes tougher because you want it, you want to make a really nice piece. But again, what we want drawing to be correct. This is just a nice sketch here that we will then use at another date. Maybe. We might keep bringing this, much further here. We'll see. Because I don't love the I don't like how framed the head got, so we're gonna keep working on that. It's just too centered there, you know what I mean? It's too orchestrated, maybe? I don't know, somebody might be home. Oh, somebody is home. Right, so we'll wrap up a little bit earlier probably. I'm not sure. She might be taking right off too, but fairly certain she is. So you can see the value kind of changing a little bit here and there. And I have to keep it accurate. Because again, we can always work back in with lights. You always work light to dark. You just do. It's just here. You can see things so much better. And we're gonna hopefully keep kind of this all tied together without, again, filling in everything here, but we'll see. We will see. There is kind of an interesting little transition here. Again, I'm not even sure how much detail we can continue doing. So, I know we've been going for a while though. So yeah, we're at 2 hours. Oh my God. What I am going to start doing is putting down my accurate marks here. My final accurate values. That's it. You can keep waffling around forever. But good. 3 brushes, dark, medium, light, and we try to keep them that way. And now you'll see I'm going into the midtones almost. I'm not trying to have too many values. I'm trying to keep it to a simple value structure of kind of just midtones. Whoopsie. Kind of just mid darks and lights. It just makes it seeing it a little easier so that you don't start to get too crazy with colors all over. Where we see certain shapes, we're going to put in certain shapes. All we're going to do after is pull that back out with some lights, you know, of how the whole game works. Again, today we're very much just getting loose, going over the basics, just getting a little bit of a painting down. Started with our palette. We went over our sort of color palette, what we look for, what we use. Which is, you know, one of the biggest things, obviously. And like we said, doesn't necessarily matter what paints or if you try new ones, just keep your paint setup somewhat, keep them in the same order. Keep them in the same order as much as you can. Try not to put them all in different places. If you have to take a picture so you remember what the order is, do that. But just know there's no best order for how you're going to lay out your paints. I mean, normally you go light to dark. I mean, that's that much. But there's going to be an artist out there that works differently and goes dark to light. I don't know. Whatever they do. I've seen people's palettes as random as you could imagine. Now I am trying to, again, not finish incorrectly, but I'm trying to approach a finish line. when things start to feel right, accurate, and again, I'm confident with the study that it'll benefit me after and again in a big painting. This feels like perfect catch. This feels like a Avatar song or something, right? And much like our figure drawings, if you check out the stream from Monday, or if you were here on Monday, this is also the good part about working the way I'm working, where I'm just kind of keeping it loose and approaching the final marks, right? I can always come back to this and take it as far as I want. So if I want to, you know, oh, undo button. So if I want to come back into this because I end up liking it, maybe I wake up and I'm like, oh, you know what? That size, while it's tiny, is actually working. Oh, the light was just like flickering. It's kind of at a stage that I can keep working right back into it, move some of the shapes around, and continue, you know, adding the detail and finishing it out as I should. We have like 3 colors here, which is not what I had planned on doing. Works right now. And it works again because it's all at least the same feel. Nothing's missing. Nothing's like resolved so much further. Nothing's like, there's not like a random bright red or a green, or nothing's photo, you know. Again, it's just all very uniform. I can do. That doesn't show anything different, right? Art people, wake up. A color that I'm missing that I love, which is a bummer that I don't have it actually. So I'm just kind of gonna mix it up just with my brush right now. Is a King's Blue, which is almost like a sky blue, pretty much like a Carolina blue, but more chalky than Carolina blue almost. I would kind of describe it as. It's just a great color to quickly almost shade out a skin tone. Ta-da! Plans changed. Girlfriend stuck with me tonight. Y'all say hi? The lovely Ariel, everybody. Really makes an appearance. So if anybody saw it, you are blessed. You fed the boys, thank you. And is Gus kennel or good? Cool. I love you. I'll take a break in like 15, 20 and let him back out. Be safe. The lovely Ariel, everybody. And the crazy Gus. So we have to make sense of this rib spot here. The ribs are one of those places that it starts to feel easy to kind of just put in, you know, some lines and some shapes. But it's also a place that really starts to show when it's incorrect. Because it has such a specific structure. It's definitely a big part of if there's one area to improve upon and learn your anatomy and your structure. Again, it's not difficult, but it's also not easy. But once you start studying it, you sort of see the ins and outs. And it'll start to make sense a little more here. But again, just because it is so structured, it's a tough little spot to start fibbing. You have like an athlete. All sorts of shredded up. Good for you. For you. But I gotta get back into. Officially a member. Starting next week of a climbing gym. So we'll be climbing and getting our in shape on. I'm very excited for. Very excited. But again, just back to anatomy. Best things you can do is actually study real anatomy. I've currently just started studying it up again, and again, you hear like paint what you see, paint what you see. That's true. But there are times where it's beneficial to paint what you know, and that like goes against a lot of what people are probably gonna teach. But ultimately, it's just another tool in your tool belt when you think of it that way. Why not be as familiar with anatomy as possible, you know? I absolutely have to continue studying and improve my study of anatomy. because for a long time I think I kind of didn't go against it. But I was very much taught and studying to paint what I saw. So for a long time I was definitely, again, not against it, but not paying attention, more so still just studying shapes, even when I was doing the anatomy like practices. Just funny, a funny thing you do. Find the camera here? No, right? I kind of like this camera layout though. It looks okay. Yeah. Pretty damn good. And then I am always thinking of which way I'm moving the brush and how the brush marks are going to go down, the brush strokes are going to lay out. Oil painting, there's just a lot. There's a lot to always keep thinking on. And there's no right or wrong way to do it. So, biggest things, if you ever thought about doing it, just start, do it. You say it's not safe, they have water soluble, they have water oil paints that you can literally use water with. So, you can paint with children, with dogs. Like I said, I have two small dogs. But a big change was when I got my original little puppy and I started using gloves. Because again, it just felt safer, you know. It felt easier than having to wash my hands and worry about leaving residue and blah blah blah. Small studio, small spaces. Okay, what I haven't talked about is glare. We can go over, which is a pretty big thing, I guess. Glare is almost always an issue with oil painting. Done. That's all. No, but it's tricky. It's kind of a constant hold on. It's kind of a constant back and forth. And ultimately you want lights up and behind you. Kind of one of the best places they can end up going. But there's still so much time, so many times that you have to actually brush work down that I can show in a moment. What you're doing is you're literally knocking the brush strokes same direction. So what you do is you take, if you're getting a bad glare, kind of get this face a little bit more accurate than it should be, but it's happening. So gone too far, right? Down like right there. Perfect. And you're literally knocking back and knocking down every brush stroke, so that it doesn't. Flair is literally when the ripples. Oh, here. I'm gonna use the color that you can see. So when the ridges of the paint are catching the light this way, it causes glare. What you do is you knock them all down so that they're pretty much flat and going with the light, so that they're then going. So if the light source is coming from here, it's like this, and there's not gonna be any glare. You take a very soft, clean brush, just brush down very gently. And you'll see how everything appears much clearer after that. All I did was change the brush strokes so that they're going with the light right above, instead of going against and again. Catching that shine. All good fun things that I wish I knew. They pay a lot of money to learn that shit. I mean, again, I didn't pay attention the first time, so I had to learn it like 2 or 3 times. So it's my own fault, don't get me wrong. But definitely a crucial thing to know. I just touched the page. Music I've spoken about, but that is just important, or just the vibe you like. Again, be fed, I say be fed and be watered. But seriously, be hydrated, be good to go, feel good, be in a good state. If it's a lot of focus. Again, I'm just doing literally a little sketching here. Just enjoying the process of painting really more than anything. The official, my official work, my paintings actually, it's no different. I know saying that doesn't totally make sense, because it's like, well, it has to be a little. I guess it is sort of, but they're all the same steps. I just kind of keep taking them all a little further. That's really it. That's it. It's crazy, I know. But like, just instead of leaving at these 2 tones, you just sort of add a third tone, and then you add a little bit. Instead of a 3 values, you have 5 values. Now you have your highlight, your light mids, your dark mids. And you can kind of just keep going about it that way. And just keep making it more or less complicated as you break it down. You don't want to use, another common mistake is you don't really want to use too much turpentine or mineral spirits or mediums all the way through a piece. It'll just get too oily and you won't be able to put marks down. So I am using very, very little medium. I use more than you even probably should. Just 'cause it's kind of how I taught myself to work. So there's not much I can do there. but it works for me. But I have gotten myself in trouble with having the canvas be too oily, and not being able to make a mark on some paintings that had a deadline, which is a bummer. Sometimes, depending on the amount of oil you use, it just will never dry. It takes forever to dry. Can really get you in trouble if you have deadlines. Trust me, I know this. Fortunately, from experience. But that's all learning, right? Learn from our failures. That's it. Fail 1,000 times if you can. No, way more. The man that failed once. Or woman. Now change up what you're doing. Don't just keep failing, please. Trying the same thing, but learn from your failures. Bees just keep you going though too. Definitely listen to whatever works for you is absolutely what you should listen to. What I can say, don't listen to something that's going to take up space in your brain. I don't know if that makes sense, but don't listen to something that's going to occupy your brain instead of focusing on what you're doing in the painting. That is not what you should be listening to. I listen to a lot of podcasts and stuff. I have a hard time listening to them when I paint. If you can and it works, that's great. It's hard though. It's tough. Closest thing I've been able to do and actually really enjoy doing is I put on TV shows that I've seen 100 times. And when I say seen 100 times, I literally mean I've seen 100 times. And it just kind of like plays in the background. I don't watch or even listen to it. It's very much like just sort of this like monotone music. I'll definitely do a lot of lyrics, regular songs with lyrics, but there is something just about like the chill sort of beats that really work. That's why classical music is great. We're gonna keep working. Hope you didn't hear a word I said just then. What we're gonna do is we're gonna keep working a little bit here. I'm gonna take a quick break in a few minutes. Let's go check on the pets upstairs. But much like I've said, definitely closing in on this finish line piece here. But we're also enjoying how it's looking. So we might end up, like we had said, end up taking it a little further than we thought we were going to. Oh, shit. The fun piece. The fun piece. Again, I'm enjoying the lost and found aspects of it a lot. Has a very nice feel, just where the edges are kind of appearing and disappearing. I think at least I'm gonna take that off too here. This. I was just picking paint up. That part looks a little bit wrong to me, actually. So what I'm trying to do is I'm gonna fix those edges. That part's just a bit outside. I think it has to come down just a little bit here. This is also a really good time that I should take a break here, because I'm kind of making some significant changes, and I've definitely been working on it for a while now. So I definitely want to, again, keep my brain fresh, keep my mind fresh. Looks a little better though. I just might have to push that back a little bit. And then we'll probably push the last few highlights when we come back. Yeah. Mall sticks just rest over, but you can I just put a pinky. I don't know if you can see, yeah. Put a pinky like that, and you can kind of get a pretty good support. It's pretty surprising. A lot of tips in this video, actually. We're going to loosen that back up, that edge, but again, I'm enjoying that lost and found feeling here. And now it just becomes like a fun design, right? A fun sort of design project more than anything, because I'm really just working on composition. If I'm not working on the structure of the figure. But I kind of like it. Liking the oh. Kind of liking the simple value structure again, where the darkest darks are on the figure in some cases, because of how the veil works here. Pretty interesting. And keeping it warm, I think, is working much better. See, though, I don't really know. See, there's the little bits of black, your eye around all over. I don't know. You can definitely tell that's a dimple. Fucking art. All right, let's go. Pretty nice though. I'm gonna take a 30 seconds, 3 strokes. And it's break time. But I'll be back. Graham, what's up, man? How are you, brother? Happy Friday. Okay, no, I'm gonna be wrong. That's normal. I mean, nothing else is new there. But kind of looks like an unnatural position from the outside looking in for you, like a stretch. That kind of looks like an unnatural position from the outside looking in for you. Unnatural position from the outside looking in? Dude, you have... is this like a riddle? Is this like something that I'm supposed to like look deeper inside of myself? Is that what you're saying? Has to be something like Doesn't you just stretch your arm quite far to the canvas? Oh, no, not at all. My hand's touching, my elbow's on the desk. Canvas is right here. I'm touching the canvas right now. I can literally rest my elbow right on the desk. Boom, 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 boom. This is ideal. This is my exact perfect preference setup. So like you said, yes. Ideal, you want to be an arm's length away. Like it's downwards and straight on facing. I thought normally it's better angled up a bit and being higher. Sure. I mean, again, you could make the point that it could be a few inches higher is what you're saying. So my head's not kind of down. Yes and no. 100%. That's kind of preference. It's also beneficial. So I can kind of quickly turn my camera. Well, my setup here. Oh, I can zoom out. Oh, hold on. Let me lower this. Hold on. Just so you don't. So see, my paints are right here. And I'm mixing here. So the closer distance from your palette to your painting visually, the best. That's the best thing you can do. That's why people that you can see your paint and your palette. Almost in the same view. You know what I'm saying? Didn't articulate a place being interested. Oh yeah, for sure, man. I love the question. It's an awesome question. Absolutely awesome question, to be honest. Because there is a lot of times that, yeah, you see that's bad or they're too far away. You do want it perpendicular, centered to your vision, and then you want it as close to your palette as possible. You know what I mean? So to your point, 100%, it could be a few inches higher. I just kind of have this setup where I don't mind. It kind of works for me rather than going down and up because my palette's on the table. It's a little easier to have it closer than having to look here and go back up. So such little things, but just preference. The set of a canvas influences the finished product. I mean, literally, it's sad you say that because so much more than people think. And I mean people like big time artists don't realize the impact their easel setup has. Their lighting setup is, I mean, again, it's huge. And it is not recognized. So yeah, that aspect, you're not wrong about it all. That's actually one of the biggest things I teach about is lighting and making it all work for you. Because painting is hard. How you been today? Doing good, man. Living the dream. Having a good day painting, enjoying. Honestly, any day I can do this, man. This is who the hell am I to complain? This is a fucking literal dream come true so far, man. Paint the day away until I can't any longer. No bad day when you're painting. Like no bad day when you're golfing if you're a golfer. I watched Ted Lasso season 1. Dude. So good, right? It was like so good. top tier show, no? I mean, he's instantly, in my opinion, one of my favorite like TV characters. I think he's right up there with a Michael Scott. You don't even know who that is, but that's literally just your loss. So to your point, what's a weird setup is where my brushes are. Because the camera's here, I would normally have my brushes all right here. So it's a little bit like, oh, it's here. But that's all right. Some of the acting is abysmal. 100%. Some of the acting, but you get over it so fast because it's just such an enjoyable, feel-good show. You get over it like instantly. Nate's great. Everybody's so good. Camera position is what I meant. Was what I mean by outside looking in. I don't know if that makes it make more sense, though. I just like fucking with you. I don't know why. So here's a fun thing, too. Once you get... The reason you don't want to use too much medium and oil or turpentine, once you get paint down, you can just use a dry brush and move paint around. That's one of the most important stages of oil painting that people don't realize happen. And it's exactly why you have to put paint on the canvas. You have to put paint on and get it wrong so that you can move it around and get it right. Just oil painting. And then you end up holding your brushes. This is why I have carpal tunnel in my left hand. Because I hold my brushes like a psychopath. Side by the looks of you reaching far off. But in reality, yeah, no. The setup is definitely ideal for me. The camera is just very much right over my right shoulder. And it kind of like kicks over. Like kicks out back towards the center, so it's almost sitting like on my shoulder, which isn't bad. It's really not bad at all. I might set up my brushes up here a little bit so I can just kind of grab them there. Would be the only tweak. I'm very happy with the layout, considering I didn't think it through until today when I went to set it up. That's a cool piece of art in your Discord, located not a million miles away from you. Whoa, what's that mean? Makes it sound even cooler. All right, I do have to take a break though. Why do I do this every time? Because you know what happens is as we start talking, and this is why I've always loved demos too. You can kind of keep working through and resetting your brain as you talk. Versus just a monotonous painting sometimes. When you're catching up with people or chatting, you can really sort of, I shouldn't say that because that's not really true. Take breaks, take breaks, take breaks. It's in an office in Tribeca. Oh, wow. Where? Ariel probably knows it. Ariel lived in Tribeca for a very long time. Like a big bill. Like what office? What up? What up? Blue's back. What up, baby? Blue, you're just in time for break number 2. Break dab number 2. Classic me. Now I'm just taking it so much further than I wanted. But so that goes back to the beginning where I said the reason you really slowly keep approaching it in this manner is so you have that freedom to continue. If I was working in a way that just was inaccurate, and say an abstract color study or value study that's just not accurate in any way but one, you're stuck in that end game, if you will. Again, because I keep sneaking up on all my darks and I am worrying about the drawing, I can continue bringing it to that next stage, or I can honestly, I can stop very soon. I can stop soon. It's where I wanted it to be in my brain for the most part. But I'm seeing a lot. I'm seeing a lot of good things. So so again, there's no reason for me to stop, right? Like, what would be that reason? Unless I couldn't continue in that I had it all wrong. It's that wrong. Ah. I'm getting a little I've said it and now I can't think of the term. What have I called it? Noodling. No, no one, nothing. All right, on to the next one. Getting a little noodly. Start just noodling and start just like brushing and marking and brushing and marking and not really doing anything but making the piece worse. I promise. Every artist does it. You'll see it all over. In an art class or an open studio, you can see when people start to click out. The music stopped too. That's why. Oh my gosh, where the music stops. It is break time. So we're going to come back and tighten up a few things. Dogs have already been fed, so we're just going to let them out real quick, which is fun. Probably going to tweak that hand a bit. Keep tweaking here a little. Oh, that's her hair. Ah. I see. All right, that's when it's break time. Liking it though. I'm liking it. Hope you guys are enjoying the vibes, enjoying the process. I can't like just. I mean, I think that's as close to completed nipple as we should take it here. Dog brush. I don't know the nipple rules. Never known the nipple rules. Really, of anywhere. They're always changing, right? Like one day you can have your nipple here, the next day you can't. I don't know. Crazy freaking world. I've had galleries, I've had shows, I've had like big prestigious galleries. Say no thank you, we don't show nudity. And I'm like, you don't show nudity at a fine art gallery? Wild. Happens though. Oh, I don't know the nipple rules. Looking into the same way I just did, dude. But they're always changing. Don't get you whatever you think they are. Don't get used to them. And err on the side of caution. Very carefully, my friend. American Express office in the lobby. All right, cool. I'll check that out. I'm sure Ariel has actually seen it probably. My wife replied, yeah, you don't know the nipple rules. Oh, that's good stuff. There's the Q man we know. All right, that's getting a little muddy. That's getting nice. That's nice. We have to fix this. We have to take a break, but I just am refusing. We're just sitting here in silence now. Break time. I appreciate that love. I appreciate that support. We're going to be back in 5 minutes. Hit that like, hit that sub down below. We got figure painting Fridays. It's cruising. We're going to come back, do a few more marks, tighten it up just a wee bit. And then we're going to call it a stream. But we are going to be back in just about 5 minutes. We're going to take a quick break, refresh the brain, check in the dogs. I advise you to do the same, but leave the stream up and come back quick. We'll be back too. Appreciate that love. We're back.
storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. I live inside my own world of make-believe.
All right. Get it, baby. Let's finish this out, shall we? We're gonna change up this music a little bit. I'm sorry. See, what do we got here? Trap. What is trap? Love it. Oh, next. Nailed it. Right, let's get into it. So again, like always at the return of our breaks, you really want to study the piece, see what you want to adjust. You want to take, consideration of the time, how much time you have left, how much you're going to work on it. This still just starting? Is it the middle session, end session, final marks? You really want to plan that out while you have a fresh brain. Sometimes on your breaks, you get out. I do some stretches, do some jumping jacks. Sometimes you get out for a long time, hour, 2 hours, watch a movie, tomorrow, the next day, go for a run, anything. But no matter what it is, when you sit back down, don't sit down and just start painting. Be like, whoa, I took my break, I'm fresh. Sit down and study that piece for a few minutes, not like hours, but look at it, read it, check your proportions, your values, your angles, see what you want to fix. And then, you know, have a couple marks that you want to make and start. Otherwise, ultimately, you're wasting your break. Your brain reset, but then just disappeared quickly. Little stings. Little stings. Yeah, one of the biggest things I'm going to stress and that oil painting, and I still don't do enough of. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say I don't do enough of it. You could always do more. But is put paint on the canvas. Get paint on there. Do it. Get paint on there. Well, it's hard and gets muddy and gets hard to work with. That's fine. You'll figure it out. Just do it. Fix it. Use more caution. Use more care. But put paint on there. Ha! Oh my God, that rhymed. That was horrible. Horrible there. I am so sorry that happened. But it's true. More paint you have on the canvas, the easier it is. It's crazy to hear. One of the biggest mistakes painters make early on. They think if I use like less paint, it's going to be easier or less messy. Just more difficult it is. Something's happened. Something's been happening with my right eye here. We'll tweak the camera setup too a little bit for next time. Because I can probably make my camera a little bigger on the edge here, depending on how I set this up. So. Terp in the eye. I am bad. I use actual turpentine. I know I shouldn't, but I do. It just doesn't. Odorless mineral spirits doesn't quite evaporate fast enough. I have a couple that I've tried. I have a couple that I use actually, depending. But I do still actually like just turpentine. Cheap. You can get it from Home Depot. Very affordable. A fun little thing here. Let's see if I can get it on camera. A lot of times, another tip here. I have to put all these into shorts. Maybe these would be good shorts. But one thing you want to do is a lot of times people will actually take their brushes and kind of like point it up like that. And if you're using it for the specific point, that's like kind of fine. But don't do that. Take your brush and splay it out. And you have, like, see that mark? Versus this. See how much more interesting that is? Doesn't have to be that big. It could be the same size. See how much more interesting it is? That's it. Yeah, you damage your brushes. If you invest in good brushes, they last. But shape your brushes to what you want. Turn these rounds into flats. Like if you look at those two marks that I made, they look like they were made with a flat sort of brush. And they were not. Love a good S play. Is that a short play? I get my shorts rolling. But there are actually a lot of good tips that I don't usually like rattle them all off in one sitting. Good discipline in cleaning. Can brushes last a long time? Is it better to replace them regularly? It's the best thing you can do to invest in good brushes first. Invest in a quality brush, even if you're just trying it and starting out. Now it's all relative. Don't go buy an $80 natural brush, natural penguin hair brush, or whatever the hell it is. But invest in whatever you can afford that is a good quality. That's one of the biggest things to take advice from someone that you really trust or know. Because it makes painting with a good brush, again, where it does, like I showed you that brush that I splayed out. It's back. It's fine. It's perfect. It's exactly where I had it. It's perfect. I've had this brush for a decade. 10 years. That's not even a long time in the art world. It's brand new. It's perfect. And if I'm being completely honest, that is absolutely not because I take good care of my brushes. I have to do far better with my brushes, if I'm being honest. But I made sure to invest in very good quality brushes, and not even that they last longer, but so you do get what you pay for. But they do what you want them to do on the canvas. Which is the biggest reward for investing in good brushes. You need to put a mark down, and the only thing that's messing you up is your brushes. You're just not gonna enjoy the process of painting. There's baby making music here. Did I say that? But yeah, invest in the best quality that you can afford is the best thing I can say. And you don't need hundreds. You need the more you have, the better. But I've used say 12 brushes, and you could keep rattling them off. But ultimately these 4, I'll finish most of this piece with these 4, and I've been working with 4. You can wash them. You have to just make sure you do a good job washing them, because they'll have, medium on. You don't really want to get that back into the piece, like we said. And you really don't need that many, which is nice too. But let's get this kind of a little bit. But yes, to your question, yes. The better you care for your brushes, absolutely, the longer they will last. But to that point, if you buy cheap brushes, they might not last one painting. You'll have bristles all over your painting. You'll have this or that. And good brushes, I shouldn't say that because people are going to be like, well, I bought good brushes and there's still bristles in my painting. Yes, that's going to happen too, 100%. No way you can get around it, especially if it's a good brush with natural bristles. Bristles? Some of my favorite parts of going to museums and visiting paintings are seeing and finding like actual bristles, and you can see them in paintings. I mean, you can see them. They exist in paintings ever. One of the most famous paintings of all time. Have a bristle just sitting there, or a brush mark just sitting there. Not a brush mark, an actual brush hair. It's fucking awesome. It's the best thing you can ever add to your painting. Now, if it, picks up the light and makes a shape you don't like, sure, get rid of it. But that is definitely going to happen. What you want it to do is just work how you want it to work consistently. And, sorry, I just hit the camera. And investing in a good brush is the best way to have that happen. Absolute best way. Now, I have a big assortment of brushes. I have house painters brushes from Home Depot for $7, $3, whatever they might be. But I use them, accordingly for laying down big colors, so that I won't necessarily put them in the end of a painting and hope that they make accurate little marks. If that makes sense. I'm gonna see what we can do. This face is, again, very tiny. So we're gonna try a few more marks here. Again, try to keep it loose. But to read a little bit better. It's always a fun game, you know. Now I'm at the point too where I should probably clean my palette to get a couple last couple marks here. You want to keep a clean palette. You always want to have room to mix up a decent amount of paint. See, what I'm kind of doing is putting a little too much detail in here and losing the shapes. It's just too tiny. So you just kind of keep putting in your kind of working midtones. Mids to darks, mid to lights. Good day tomorrow. Off to see the Rangers game, then heading to Glasgow to meet some of the buddies. Damn, you live a life, bro. What day? Saturday? They all. Oh yeah, I guess that's game day, right? Who are they playing tomorrow? Guaranteed dub. How are they doing this season? I'm gonna be drunk. I love that. We have a fun little art show to go to tomorrow afternoon, actually. Tomorrow evening, I think. Fun. Alright, I'm kind of not gonna keep doing this to the face here. Losing it. Blowing it, man. But that's good to see too. That's beautiful too. You know what I mean? There you go. It does not just fucking happen. Much like everybody thinks. Oh my God, he's so talented. It must be so easy to paint all these faces. No. Fuck that. I'll say it. None of this is easy. It's fun, passionate, and I fucking love it. But we keep creating and keep doing it. None of this easy and God-given and natural and talent and blah. We all do it 100 times and get it right on the 101st. Fucking lucky, right? St. Johnstown tomorrow, up and down season. So how are the Johnstown boys? What do we got? What do we got? What's the over under for the day? I'll tell it like it is when it comes to art. Don't you doubt that. I'll say what I believe at least. Did you get the dub? Never new players signed this week. Hopefully playing. Oh, young gun, young stud. I feel like you guys pick up a lot of those dudes. I guess that happens in that league quite a bit, right? My buddy actually knew your league in the Rangers, like I told you, I think. Because he does like manager seasons and had a manager season with some team in there or something at some point. And it was like an up and coming, he had like a couple up and coming players or something like that. That's what got him there. Could be all wrong. It works. Oh, it's looking nice. Cool. Go back in with a little, what do we need here? Nice little guy, nice little guy. Nice little brushy. I gotta try some new two players as we are always in the run for the league or cups. Okay. So you're just saying you guys are just cool. That's what I'm hearing. All right, we're gonna try to finish up this face here and then probably call it. But if you're new here, you know how much you don't know how often I say that and then go for so much longer. So, hang on. Don't actually go anywhere. Has a nice feel to it. Has a nice feel to it. Another pro tip. Another pro tip. Yeah, let's put this in the short too. Bang. To give your paintings an extra little punch of value, you can go with alizarin crimson and ultramarine, and it is actually the darkest value. It is about a shade or two values darker than like an ivory black. Fun fact. Playing a Two-Horse League, either us or Celtic. Is it Celtic or Celtic? I mean, you must be able to see how much darker that is already just instantly. And again, you don't want to use it everywhere, but just know that in certain areas, you have to punch up another nice dark value. There's your ticket. But don't even worry about that until you're, I'm saying, looking to hit that last little dark punch of values. I think you guys can probably see how much darker that makes it, but maybe not. It might be too tough on the camera. Getting a little noodly here. But I kind of want that cheek to work here, and it doesn't quite yet. See, sometimes you just, again, sometimes when you put paint on, putting a lot of paint on the canvas is your best friend. Because again, you can just move it around to the right shape. Bing bong. No. Celtic. Is Celtic anything, or is that just like a wrong way to pronounce everything? Like, was Celtic ever a thing? It's a thing. Okay. So then why isn't it what you're talking about? We're getting real philosophical here, maybe. Word philosophical? I'm kidding. I know it is. Sounded weird though, right? Oh no, Mike, that black mark. COS language. No, I'm not gonna know what that is, so. Thanks for making me look dumb. No, I don't know what that is though, for real. Cause is slang for because? Fucking with me, Quantum. I don't think it's spelled that way at all, dude. Enjoy your presence, Quantum. I really do. I see Quantum, so I don't know what to call you. Did you do that because I was calling you Graham? Do you not like that I call you Graham? Where I put this flag, it just doesn't really seem to work. No, I just remembered I had changed to my own name. Good having both when I'm on chats. Yeah, it makes sense. Link to Google account knowingly. Yeah, no, I mean, I feel like that happens to a lot of people, which is funny. Kind of just designing it at this point. Pretty much done. Yeah, 3.5 hours. Oh, hell yeah. Jesus. Fucking dunzo. Oil paint is fucking so awesome. The transparency levels you can achieve with oil paint, just, oh man, so frustrating and so awesome. It's frustrating because it's just hard, but it's so fucking awesome. You just make stuff show through that you put on 6 hours ago, and you put it there so that transparent red would just show through when you didn't put enough black on. It's like, yeah, fucking brilliant. I'm putting like 10 more marks, which we all know is going to be like 40. But because I want to finish up this knee real quick, kind of like it. I remember making the mental note that that was one of the big things I had to fix. So we should go in and fix it, you know? Do. Kind of nice. That kind of looks nice there. It adds a nice level of depth. Kind of drop behind there. Cool. Pretty much it. Oh my god. What the fuck? Aussie. What? What up, man? How the fuck are you, dude? What is good, brother? Why are we hung out in so long? This is all very, very, very warm. You can see. Almost a monotone study is very much what it's coming down to. Used very little blue in this. And there it is. That has to be it. I have to call it there. My screen's shutting off on me. I have to. It's starting now. It's done. It's gonna start looking overworked. It's just not needed at this point, you know. What I set out to accomplish in this piece done. And like I've said, ultimately when I look at it and I don't know what I can improve, that's a wrap, right? I still kind of keep seeing a couple marks here and there that I know I could improve upon just a little bit, which to me is worth fixing, right? It just makes sense. Because there are going to be things that, you know, you can always kind of say, oh my gosh, puppy dogs. But ultimately, when you're done, you're done. You can't overwork it. You have to keep it like a nice, fresh style. Love your work, dude. Keep killing it. Always been a superstar. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you hopping in, man. So good to hear from you, dude. Where are you at these days, bro? I'm hopping off pretty soon, but I'll fucking get in touch with you, dude, for sure. We have to hook up. We gotta kick it. So good hearing from you, dude. That's fucking awesome. Yeah, because I'm done here. I just am. How many more times am I going to say that? Good God. This time, I'm done here. I'm done here. Sign it when you say that. I know, right? It's so bad. The crazy thing I do to myself. Well, I gave myself a finish, you know what I mean? A finish line. And it's a pretty definitive finish line, which is great. But sometimes when you look up and you're not close, it's like, uh-oh. A long way to go. But no, that is what we're going to call it. That is what we're going to do it. Two things. I can do two. I have to sign it. I have to hit like 3 highlights. That's all. It's actually the only thing that I probably haven't done. Like the deaths. Just those last perfect highlights. 2 marks. Just really nice and crisp. Not white. Not white. But just to pull everything together, you know? I'm gonna put it right here. And now watch it all come together. Like one of those drink things that you put in the water. Until it's completely grown, it just those still things you kind of, you know, the dinosaur things, the little foam things, you put them in the water cup. Sweet. But yeah, you couldn't rush it, you know what I mean? Like you couldn't take it out before it was done and be like, well, mine didn't work. It's like, well, you took it out before it's done. That magic happens. Done. That will work. That is where we're gonna do it. Well, we sign. And I walk away from it and come back a couple hours later and work on it some more. And then I just leave that part out of the post. You know what I mean? I'm like, look at 2-hour stream completed. Meanwhile, I worked on it for like 6 hours. Off stream. I didn't really, clearly. This has been start to finish right here, baby. All right, let's sign this puppy. Get it off the easel and out of the studio. Already sold, people. If anybody wants to buy it, it is, I mean. But otherwise, it's definitely available. Here's a fun little trick too. Little secret. Sometimes if you knock your signature down, oh, it fits right in with the piece. And you just knock it back. There's a good movement to it, though. There's a good lost and found movement to it that wasn't planned, but came together really nicely as we continue to build the study. But it's a really, really nice movement built into it. Oh, that's what's driving me crazy. Okay, cool. Hold on. I was like, something's just wrong about this knee, and it's just a values. It's values. It's values. Always is fucking. It's the only thing I kept looking at, and it's like, why? It just couldn't feel right. I didn't have the values. There you go. All right, there you go. See, easy game now. Perfect. That's what we call it. That leg goes back. Like that has to go there. There it is. Now the leg just goes back under the knee instead of just kind of sitting there. It was just at such a weird angle. It looked like it was just kind of like flopped, like a floppy knee. Nobody likes floppy knees. Hide your knees if you're going to be wearing shorts. People's knees. The Charlie Kelly original right there. Oh, milk steak, definitely. All right. That's it. That's that. That's what we're calling it. I'll count it. Gloves are off. Painting's done. Pow. Damn. Almost went 4 hours today. Wow. All right. We are back. We are back. Oh, and we are done. All right. That is a nice completed piece for Figure Fridays. We're going to be back on Monday with Gestural Mondays. We'll be charcoal sketching on Monday. We have a video coming out tomorrow, time-lapse video of a watercolor piece. Completed. Going to be posted tomorrow because we won't be streaming Saturday, Sunday. So we'll be posting a video tomorrow and then maybe some shorts or something on Sunday, but probably nothing too crazy other than just a video this weekend. And then next week we'll be back Monday through Friday live. Similar sort of schedule. Again, Monday we'll do Gestural Mondays. We're going to be working on a skate deck next week, actually, which is going to be fun. Acrylic painting and back to some oils. So all sorts of fun stuff. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the support. Thank you so much for hanging out, everybody. Aussie! I'm going to be hitting you up, bro. Appreciate you. Good to hear from you, brother. Graham. Can't thank you enough. Blue in the house. Thank you, everybody. Be sure to hit that like and that sub down below. It really helps the channel. Tell somebody to check the video out. Share the channel with a friend. And until I see you next time, I'm going to say it. You might know it, you might not, but I'm going to say it anyway. Stay healthy and stay happy. Much love, gang.